Once upon a time, in a serene forest, there resided a temple nestled between towering mountains, hidden from the outside world. This temple was home to 108 monks, each devoutly committed to the practice of meditation and enlightenment. The monks cherished their peaceful existence, dedicating themselves to the path of wisdom, harmony, and self-discovery. Day and night, they engaged in deep meditation, seeking to transcend the mundane and connect with the essence of existence. One tranquil night, the moon cast its silvery light upon the temple, illuminating the faces of the monks who sat in stillness. Hours seemed to blur into one another until, in the midst of the profound silence, a young monk named Tenzin felt his stomach rumble, awakening him from his focused trance. Desperate and unable to ignore his hunger any longer, Tenzin stood up, a look of determination plastered across his face. "I am hungry. I am going to get some food," he declared. The other monks remained immersed in their meditation, their faces calm and unwavering. They were unperturbed by Tenzin's declaration, absorbed in their spiritual exercises. Tenzin felt a twinge of uncertainty. He looked around, but there was no acknowledgement, no response, just deep, calming breaths resonating through the stillness of the night. Nonetheless, Tenzin stood firm in his decision and exited the temple. After a few hours, another monk, older and known for his wisdom, named Jinpa, raised his voice in the same assertive tone. "I am thirsty. I am going to get some water." Like Tenzin, he received no response from the diligent monks who continued to meditate. Jinpa felt a ripple of annoyance, but paid no heed. Surely, he thought, his fellow brothers would understand the basic needs of the human body, especially in the face of spiritual practices. Upon Jinpa's exit, the remaining monks continued, undeterred. Hours rolled on, and their devotion remained unbroken. Eventually, a third monk, renowned for his unwavering focus on purity, named Bima, stood up. This instance mirrored the previous two. "I am tired. I am going to lay down," he announced. Yet again, the monks remained silent, tucked away in their own deep contemplation, seemingly oblivious to Bima's call. Frustrated yet persistent, Bima too left the sanctuary of the meditation hall. As the night progressed, the vibrations of each monk's physical necessities echoed in their absence, while the rest persisted in their meditative stupor. The moon began to set, and the first light of dawn crept into the temple. Slowly, the monks who had left the hall began to return, their bodies nourished by food, quenched by water, and liberated from the fatigue of contemplation. Tenzin, Jinpa, and Bima settled back into their places, merging once again into the rhythm of meditation. Sometime later, after the sun had risen and brought warmth, the head monk, known for his compassion and keen understanding, addressed the group. "Brothers," he spoke, his voice calm and soothing, "we have convened as one to seek enlightenment and connection. Yet how many of us have ignored the nature of our own being tonight?" The monks looked around, puzzled by the head monk's rhetorical question. A silence seeped into the air that felt heavy with unspoken realizations. Then, Tenzin summoned courage to share what had stirred inside him. "I stood to seek food, and I felt unheard, but in that moment, I realized that my body demanded nourishment. Meditation is important, but so is acknowledging the needs of our existence." Jinpa chimed in, nodding in agreement. "Yes, I felt parched as I meditated. Disregarding my needs only distracted my mind from the path of samadhi. In my thirst, I lost the focus of my practice." Bima echoed the sentiments of his fellow monk. "And when I lay down in exhaustion, my thoughts wandered to feelings of inadequacy after seeing my brothers remain in meditation. I began to question my worth in this temple because I needed rest." The head monk smiled gently, his eyes reflecting understanding and wisdom. "It seems, dear brothers, we have overlooked what it means to connect with ourselves fully. To seek enlightenment is not just about the elevation of the mind. It is equally about honoring the body, the senses, and our humanity." He continued, "We often confuse spiritual pursuit with the denial of our physical existence. Each of you faced the simple needs of life, hunger, thirst, and fatigue, and buried them under layers of meditation. But true enlightenment involves recognizing and embracing the interplay of body and spirit." The monastery fell silent once more. The monks began to grasp a deeper lesson. that spiritual paths must incorporate self-awareness and an acceptance of one's basic needs. As individuals dedicated to meditation, they had inadvertently neglected their own well-being. The head monk continued his discourse. Just as a river needs both banks to flow, so too does spiritual growth necessitate awareness of the physical vessel. If we fail to nourish ourselves, physically and emotionally, our ability to connect with the universe and each other will weaken. The path to enlightenment is not linear. It ebbs and flows, requiring us to honor our experiences along the way. Over the next days, the monks withdrew into their meditation with renewed purpose. They began integrating mindfulness about their bodies alongside their spiritual practices, finding balance between inner silence and outward needs. The temple atmosphere shifted, becoming a harmonious blend of devotion and understanding. As weeks passed, the monks observed one another embracing their humanity with tenderness. Tenzin, Jinpa, and Bima engaged in open discussions about their needs, encouraging one another to speak without fear of judgment. They formed a pact to remind one another whenever physicality pulled at their concentration. They began to realize that true connection with oneself opens the door to profound bonds with others. The head monk often observed their evolution with pride. Their relationships deepened, woven through the threads of vulnerability and acceptance. The temple thrived as a sanctuary where both spirit and body were honored. One evening, as the sun set in a blaze of colors, the head monk called for a gathering. "Brothers, tonight we will meditate under the stars, embracing all aspects of our being. Let us remember that within this journey for enlightenment, our growth as individuals and as a community is intertwined. We must learn not to shy away from our needs but honor them. Through acceptance, we cultivate compassion for ourselves and for all beings." With that, the monks ushered into the starlit night, their hearts swelling with newfound wisdom. They sat under the cosmos, their spirits illuminated not just by the moon, but by the understanding that within their struggles lay the very essence of self-improvement. They allowed the tranquility of the night to cradle their minds, where meditation met the tenderness of their human existence. As they closed their eyes, embracing their breaths, they connected deeply not only to their own inner truths, but also to each other. The shared silence became a dance of spirits, a flow of existence. In those moments, they realized that enlightenment was not just a destination, but a continuous journey, one that embraced both serenity and the dance of life itself. In conclusion, let this story remind us that self-improvement and enlightenment arise when we embrace the entirety of our experiences. Our spiritual practices are enriched when we honor our bodies and acknowledge our needs. Balance is key in this journey of life. It is about integrating body and spirit harmoniously. Remember, in the pursuit of wisdom, your humanity is a beautiful part of the path. Each step you take, with vulnerability and self-acceptance, leads you closer to understanding the profound connection we share with the world around us. Embrace it, learn from it, and grow with it. For you are a beautiful, multifaceted being on a journey yet to unfold.